Good afternoon, students. So today, uh, for 8th standard, we will have the poem that is Palanquin Bearers. This class is for 8th standard students. Palanquin Bearers. The word itself is a very new Palanquin. I think maximum of have heard also that the reader what you are having, many of you have read the lessons, read the poems, and whereas some poems are there for memorization, many of them they have already memorized those poems also. So this poem Palanquin Bearer is for memory. You have to by heart it, you have to learn it. You'll be getting the poem for the examination or for the test. So you have to memorize this poem. That is Palanquin Bearers. So is this Palanquin Bearer is written by Sarojini Naidu. We know Sarojini Naidu is a nightingale of India. She was one of the women poet. What we know from her literary works, she was always used to write here at the end of this poem. It is being given there about the Sarojini Naidu also. So Sarojini Naidu, she was a political activist and played an active role in the freedom movement. We know that she belongs from the very uh, what it is the family where the politicians were there, where the freedom fighters were there, and she also participated in some of those movements earlier days, because her period was 1879 to 1949. Her period, she lived during the period of 1879 and 1949, and she was being called as a nightingale of India. Her family was always much active in one of the other freedom struggle movement, and she herself also participated in some of the freedom movements here. And she was the first woman to become the governor of an Indian state after independence. That is, she died at on in 1949, but our India got the independence in 1947. But immediately after the independence, she has become the first woman that is governor of Indian state after independence. She was the first woman governor. I think governors, you may be knowing that governors, each state has the governors. So she was also a governor, and some of her major contributions are a broken wing. See, the broken wing is nothing but the literary work what she has written, and one more is the word of a time and the golden threshold. Her literary works, these are all the books what she has written here. From there itself we have this Palanquin Bearers is being extracted, and the other where the broken wing, the board of a time, the golden threshold, etc. Here very few of them are being given. When we speak or talk about the Sarojini Naidu, we know that she was a very good writer. We have seen her writing so many songs also, lyrics which have been converted into the music, so that we got so many songs also. So she has been called as a nightingale of India, and her period was 1879 to 1949. So this Palanquin Bearer is also written by Sarojini Naidu. So what do you mean by palanquin here? You can see that in the first page itself, a picture is being given there. The picture is given there. That is what we are imagining what would be the palanquin here. The four persons are carrying something there. The four persons are carrying the thing. Already have seen that. You have mostly seen during the festivals or during the procession, some of the temples. But this kind of a palanquin we find in the earlier days, where the queens or the rich family women used to travel or go to the other places and sitting in these palanquins. Now palki ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ. Okay, so that is what the palanquin itself is here. The picture you can see, so well decorated it is. It is being carved there. Maybe sometimes it will be of a wood, or sometimes it will be made of the some of the metals also, but it will be always very light weighted, because they has to See, you can see that they are carrying it on their shoulders. So when they carry, it should not be a heavy weight. It should be weightless. So they used to make it with of I think maximum I have seen of a wood only, a lightweight wood, and carving will be done there. Very well decoration will be done on that. So this is what the palanquin, what we see here in this poem, and it is well decorated. And inside you can see one lady is sitting there. Always we seen earlier days the queens used to sit there, but after few years, after the first one era that period, we used to see some brides. The earlier days, after the marriage, the girl, the woman who is married there, that particular bride is given to her husband's house in this palanquin only. Palanquin is nothing but the place or the thing where the woman or the bride will sit inside, and the four bearers, the bearers are the people, those who are carrying, those will hold it on their shoulders. So bearers are the persons, those are all holding there, carrying there. So the bride will be sitting inside and they will carry her to her husband's house. This thing, the travel where she will sit in that palanquin, and she will be taken to her husband's house. The way, the traveling distance, what the bearers will feel, how they feel when they carry. Now yavattu yochane madangilla. Hauda? So this is what the Sarojini Naidu thought, and she wrote about the bearers here. So how the bearers will carry this palanquin, how they feel. You just go into the era of I think the period of you see in some films also, the very old films, there you can see this kind of palanquin and as well as the palanquin bearers, and you see there they will be singing. This palanquin bearers, the four people are there, those who will be holding that or carrying that bearer, the palanquin, they will be singing. Why do they sing here? Because already they will be walking on their foot, and they will be carrying a heavy, somewhat heavy thing is there on their shoulder, just to move in a very easy and a very energetic and very joyful journey, so that just to spend the time or the period very enthusiastically. So they sing. While singing only, they used to move. They used to take the palanquin. They used to lift the palanquin. That is what the bearers will say in this three paragraphs here. What we will be learning today, that is palanquin bearers. Bearers are the persons, those who are all carrying the palanquin. Palanquin is nothing but the thing. You can see there where the woman is bride is sitting there. So ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾಳೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಜಾತ್ರೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ದೇವರ ಪಾಲ್ಕಿಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, well decorated with some beautiful velvet cloth or the flowers, isn't that? So here in the earlier days we used to see in the some films where the bride used to sit and the bearers used to carry her to the husband's house. So how do they feel here? ಅವ್ರ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಅವ್ರು ಖುಷಿ ಖುಷಿಲಿಂದ ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನನಗ್ ಬೇಡ ನಿನಗ್ ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ವೈ ಡು ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಹರ್? ವೈ ಡು ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ದಟ್ palanquin? That is what they feel here. That we will learn here in these lines. Okay. So nowadays the brides are being taken in a decorated car, isn't that? So earlier we used to see these palanquins, but nowadays you can see, will find the very well decorated cars. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ ಕಾರಿಗೆ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ waste of money, and they will decorate the car very beautifully just to the couples, bring those couples to the husband's house. The car will be decorated and the bride and the bridegroom will be sitting inside, and they will be brought to their husband, the bridegroom's house. But whereas in the earlier days we used to see these kinds of palanquin, that is what we will be learning today. So lightly we bear her along. We means the four people, those who are carrying this palanquin as well as the bride inside. Lightly we bear her along. She sways like a flower in the wind of a song. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. So this is what the bearers are saying, that lightly What do you mean by lightly? See, lightweight. When we hold anything, we can feel that how what is the weight. If it is very less weight, we say that it is light. But it is have more weight, we say that it is having a weight. Isn't that heavy weight? So the palanquin bearers are saying that the palanquin along with the bride is very lightly. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಭಾರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಭಾರನೇ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. And we ever heard along think that the place they hold, they lift her here, they have to travel a kilometer of a distance, they have to travel, but they don't bear it is as a weight. They are saying that it is a very light weighted palanquin as well as the bride there. Then she sways like a flower in the wind of her song. So while moving, while traveling, they will be singing, they will be continuously singing. If you want, you can see some old films, you will find there the palanquin bearers singing. And they are saying that she sways like a flower, as if the palanquin inside the bride is just as like a weightless flower. You can see what is the weight of a flower? Nothing, isn't that? If you hold the flower in your hand, do you feel any weight there? No. Here also the palanquin and the bride is just like as a flower. Avrigenu adanna bharane anistha illa, it is weightless. And she skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. Swaying means this ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಲಗಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ, that is what swaying. Okay, it is just like a flower sways, and she skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. So here even the bearers are saying that the palanquin as like as a bird on the foam of a stream. Already we know the meaning of this word stream. Stream andre hengre neeru julu julu anta harita iranta ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಳ. ಹೌದಾ? The moment where we see some small kind of a river there, that is stream. ಆ stream ನಲ್ಲಿ foam ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಬುರುಗು, foam. This is not very new word, but even though it is new, you know down. That is first is foam. ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಸೋಪಿನ ಬುರುಗು ಬರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ನೊರೆ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಭಾರ ಇರ್ತದ್ರಿ ನೀವು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ? weightless. That is what the bearers are saying, that even the palanquin and the bride is just like as a bird. How the bird will fly in the air? It is a weightless, just like a foam in the stream. Please be carefully here. The palanquin is the poet is comparing. The poet is comparing some things to some other things. The palanquin is being compared to the flower. The palanquin is being compared to the bird. The palanquin is being compared to the wind. The palanquin is being compared to the foam of the stream. So comparison is there. Comparison. The very, very, very important thing, you have to compare it. Comparison is being given here. You have to see the comparison there. So here what the poet is saying, the palanquin is just light as a bird and light as a foam on the stream. Nore, buru. Okay, that is weightless. And she floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. So as if she is like a laugh. Where is your laugh? Laugh will be on your lips, isn't that? So ನಮಗದೇನು ಭಾರ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Just it is like a flower, just like it is like a bird, and just it is like a laugh on the lips of a dream. So ರಾತ್ರಿ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವರು ನಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Have you seen that? Have you imagined that? Do you felt that? While dreaming in the night, while sleeping, you will be smiling. The smile will show like a lips. This is what will show the lips sign, that it means that it is smiling, isn't that? So here also they're saying that even the bride is also happy, the palanquin bearers also happy. They are not at all finding that it is a weight, it is having a more weight or a heavy weight. It is lightly and as if like a flower and the bird, and it is just like a laugh on a lips at the night. night dream. When we be dreaming, we will be laughing, just a smile. That is what the poet is expressing in this 4 lines. Next, gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Softly, oh softly, we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of our song. So what the poet is saying that gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. So gaily here is also a that is they are not at all worried, they are not at all in any burden there. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ದುಃಖ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋವಲ್ಲ. They are happy. Gaily, oh gaily. They are more happy, they are more cheerful. ನಾವು ಮಹಾರಾಣಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬ್ರೈಡನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. This is what they are saying. We are happy, we are enjoying and glide and we sing. So you may be knowing that movement ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. When we be traveling in any vehicle, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. That is what the glide, and along with the glide and the sways, skim, they are all singing there. They are singing and they are moving towards to the destination there. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Have you seen a pearl? Pearls means what? Pearls are nothing but the girls are much fond of these pearls and the string. Muttina sara. Yes, isn't that? When you wear that pearl string, do you find any weight there in near your neck? No, it is a weightless. The pearls along with the string. String andre ದಾರ, ದಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಣಿಸಿರುವಂತ ಮುತ್ತುಗಳು, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಎಷ್ಟು ವೇಟ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೋ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರದ್ದು ವೇಟ್ ಅನ್ಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಪೋಯಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಬಿಯರ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಲ್ ಆನ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್, as if like a pearl. ಮುತ್ತಿನ ಸರ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ, weightless. Same, the bearers are carrying her. Softly, oh softly, we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of a song. Look at the comparison. Just concentrate on the comparison here. They are comparing the things to something there. So what is the grammar part you will be learning? This here is a figure of speech. Figure of speech, there we will have the comparison. Very important thing here in this chapter, that is what the poet is comparing some things to the other things. Okay, here what the poet is saying, that softly, they are taking it very softly because she is a new bride. They are taking in a very softly and they are carrying her, bear her along. She hangs like a star. Where do we find stars? We find stars in the sky, but here the poet is comparing those stars here to the dew of our song. So where do we find the dew here? We find the dew in the early morning, but here the poet is saying that the dew is in their song, the bearer's song. A dew, have you touched the dew? Okay, there the dew will be shining, isn't that? So here also the poet is saying that the dew is there in that song and the dew is shining like a star. Comparison, see that the comparison. She hangs like a star in the dew of her song. She springs like a bee on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. Lightly, oh lightly, we glide and we sing, and we bear her along like a pearl on a string. So here what the poet is saying, that she springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. So beam is what here? The ray of the light. So what the light is showing us is, it is just on the brow of the tides, the waves. You can see the waves near the seashore, the waves. So think that this is seashore, the waves always will be touching to the shore. So this is the brow here, as like as another eyebrow, the shape of the eyebrow, what we see there, eyebrow, and it is the light or the ray of the sun is touching to the top surface of the water and it shines, it reflects. The sun's light will always reflect, isn't that? Where we see the sun here, it comes and it reflects on the water. It springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. Spring I think you know spring. So it comes again, it moves. That is what the direction of the ray is. This is what the brow is being given there. Then the waves, then the surface of the water is given there. So she springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. See, look at this. What the poet is saying, that she is sad there sitting inside because she is away from her parents' house, and she is happy because she is going to a very new house, that is her husband's house. Somewhere the tear, T-E-A-R, tear word is saying that she is unhappy. A very beautiful, very fragile and tender, hold on, very young bride is sitting there, and somewhere the tear word is saying that she is little bit unhappy. She is sad because she is away from her house now, the childhood, the days where she has spent mother's house. She is away from that house and she is moving towards the her new house, that is her husband's house. And from the eyes of a bride, lightly or blithely we glide and we, but we are not at all feeling that it is heavy weighted palanquin, but it is very light, and we are all glide and we are singing. We are moving, we are singing, we are carrying, but it is very lightly. We bear her along like a pearl on a string, as if we are carrying her, as if we are holding her, as if we are lifting her, just like a pearls on the string. Pearls. Muttina Sara. Adu Muttina Sara nimge yavattu bhara ansula. That is what the bearers are saying, that as if they are carrying her just like a pearls on the string. String is nothing but the thread where we put the pearls there. So that is what she's writing there. We bear her along like a pearl on the string. This is what the palanquin bearers are saying about the palanquin, and as well as the bride, newly wedded bride, they are sitting inside. They are carrying her, they are lifting her without any weightless. It is a very light-weighted thing. And what the thing they are saying is they are happy, they are singing, they are enjoying. While they're going, they'll be singing. So this is what Sarojini Naidu is explaining here in her poem, that is Palanquin Bearers. So I think you have to read about the Sarojini Naidu, what is given here. And apart from this, last there, about some figure of speech, the first figure of speech, that is simile, is being given here. This is the first figure of speech what we will be learning in this chapter. So that is simile. You start learning these things, and comparisons is also given there. The whole page is about simile only. Better you do this exercise if you can do it. So very easy. And apart from this, you have one more grammar book with you. There everything is being clearly given there. What kind of a figure of speech you have. The first thing what you will be learning in this palanquin bearer is, that is simile. Just you learn today just about the simile. So do these exercises, and if possible you read those similes from the one more book. You have very thick book is there with you. There are many similes, many figure of speeches are there. So just you read simile. That is enough for you for your 8th standard. Okay. Some other 4 figure of speech we may get in the next chapters also. We will learn that also. But today you learn about the figure of speech, that is simile. Simile is figure of speech. I am just telling you about the comparison. We are comparing. Nan frocko akinange ide, nan frocko avadu tharane ide. Isn't that? That is what we will be comparing. So this is what the first comparison figure of speech, it is simile. So just complete that exercise what I have shown you after the next pages of this palanquin bearers. Okay, students? Thank you very much.